Hello everyone. We Aroha Media have come up with a new tutorial where we'll show you how to manipulate the sound volume using a slider in Flash ActionScript AS 3.0. So let's go to the ActionScript 3.0 for a new file. Before creating the slider, we will see how to call the sound on the stage using ActionScript. First things first. So, let's import the sound we will be playing into the library. File menu, Import to Library, and pick the sound file you have. Press Ctrl+L to get library, and here you can see the imported sound file. In the library, create one sound folder and shift that sound file inside the folder. We are not going to drag that sound directly on the stage to get played, but we want to play the sound using ActionScript. For that, we have changed some properties of that sound file. In the library, right-click on the sound file and click on Linkage. Here, we get one linkage properties window. In this, check for the option Export for ActionScript. With that, export in the first frame will be default checked. Keep it so. Don't even change anything in the base class option. Above that, you can rename the sound class whatever you want. We write here, My Sound. Click OK. You will face one more ActionScript class warning dialog box. Click OK for that too. So, finally, that's our sound to be played. Name the layer as Action where we need to write the script for the sound. Press F9 to get the action panel. Add a variable SND and put the name you used for class, that is, My Sound. Then take another variable to set the sound channel. Variables are simple data containers which allow you to store values that you use in your program. Here, to this channel variable, the above SND variable's value has to be assigned. So, our sound file in the library, that is, My Sound, is called on variable SND, and we have created a new channel named Sound Channel where the SND variable will be played. Let's taste the movie and that sound file should play. It's playing. That means sound from the library is attached successfully. So this part is done. Moving ahead with the next part, we need one slider to control the volume of the same sound file. So let's start. Add a new layer named Volume_Slider, and with the line tool, draw a track as seen in the video. From the Properties panel, change its width to 100. Press F8 to convert it to a movie clip. Name it Volume. Also keep its registration point at center left. Step inside, name that layer as Line and convert it into a movie clip named Line. And keep the registration point where it is, that is, on center left. On another layer, let's draw a knob. Remove the outline and keep the knob size to perfect 20 by 20 pixels. Convert it in a movie clip named Knob and keep the registration point at center left for this too. Let's align the knob to the extreme left of the track. Done. Now let's give each movie clip its instance name to use it in ActionScript. Instance name for the knob will be knob_MC and for the line will be line_MC. Step outside and give the instance name as volume_MC for the single movie clip of the volume controller. Play and notice that we need to add an ActionScript so that the knob can be dragged on the slider. So, in the Action panel, let's define the function to drag the knob on mouse event. Here, we need to mention the line width so that the knob will be dragged till that length. Remember, the knob has its own width, so at the same time, we need to minus the knob's width from the line's width too. Now, let's call the above function on the mouse down event of the knob movie clip. Done. Test the movie. It's happening. We need to add the action so that the knob drag should stop at a given point whenever the mouse is up or rolled out of the knob. Firstly, let's write a function to stop the drag. Now, add an event listener to call this stop drag function when the mouse is up from the knob. Add one more similar event listener for the same function to happen when the mouse is moved out from the knob. Test the movie. Start-stop dragging of the knob is successfully done. Now, the sound volume should go low and high according to the knob slide. So, we need to add the action on the knob's enter frame event such in a way that the volume transform connects to the knob's X position. So, let's start with the knob's enter frame function. As it's an enter frame function, it will be only event. We need to connect the volume transform to the knob's X position. So, create a variable. Its type will be number in which only numerical values can be stored. Save the knob's X position now. According to the track line length, the knob's X position will vary in between 0 to 100, and the sound transformer is always set in between 0 to 1. So, the knob's X position will have to be divided by 100. Similarly, get one more variable, sound transform, in which the volume variable's value can be set. That means, in the volume variable, we stored the knob's X position divided by 100, that is, numerical value. And then, we assigned it to the sound transform variable. Now this sound transform has to be applied to our My channel, where our actual sound is playing. So, we set that sound transform to My channel. Now, we need to add an event listener for the knob Enter frame. Enter frame will be in caps. That's the format for the action. The current position of our knob is 0. By default, if we need to keep it as 100, then by this calculation, 100 divided by 100, that is, 1 will be its maximum slide position to get the sound played at the loudest. So, let's set the knob's position now. That will be 80 because the knob's width, that is 20, will minus from the track's total width, that is 100. So, 80 will be the position when the knob will be at its highest point. Test the movie. The sound is playing at maximum by default and slowing down when the knob is moved to the lower side. That's not all. Let's add one volume button or say mute button which can switch on and off the sound on one click. Add it on a new layer named Button. Get the mute button from Components, Video and place it on the stage closer to the volume slider. We will need this in the action script, so give it an instance name mute_MC. Step inside its movie clip. You will see two layers containing mute on and mute off icons. By default, we want to display mute on icon first. So, move the mute off to the second frame. Test the movie. The mute on and off icons are playing continuously. To stop that, open the action panel again and add the action. Test it. Animation is stopping on the first frame. Now, on one click, the mute on icon should change to the mute off icon and vice versa. For that, we need to add a variable. We take the variable I, go down and write a function to change the mute icon on click. That means, on odd clicks, it should change to mute off, and on even clicks, it should show mute on icon. For that, we will use conditional statements. Conditional statements are logical loops, which are of different types like if-else loop, do-while loop, and for-in loop. Here, we will use the if-else conditional statement. The if-else conditional statement allows you to test a condition. You can test for more than one condition using the if-else conditional statement. The curly brackets are also used for looping statements. Here, we mean if I is divided by 2 and remains 0. Then, the next instruction is to be added below, that is, the mute icon should go to and show frame number 2, on which the mute off icon is placed. Similarly, else condition is to be added. Done. So this conditional statement completely means if I variable is divided by 2 and results 0, then it should go and stop at frame number 2 inside mute_MC movie clip. Else means if the if condition doesn't apply, that is, if 0 is not the result after dividing I by 2, then it should go and stop at frame number 1 inside the same mute_MC movie clip. Hope this is clear. Now, this function is to be called on the Mute Buttons Click event. Done. Let's taste the movie now. After a click, the mute on icon is changing to the mute off icon, but it's not happening vice versa. Let's see the reason. Here, we have given the I variable a 0 value. So, as per the if condition, if the I is divided by 2 and results 0, means 0 divided by 2 results in 0. That is why it moves to frame number 2 and shows the mute off icon. But every time I is going to be 0, that means the else condition will never get applied, because every time for mouse click, it is an even click. In this situation, what we need to do is increase the I variable's value after the if-else condition. So, we are adding as I++. That means the number of clicks will keep on increasing the I value. In short, before any click, I will be 0. On the first click, I will get value of 1. On the second click, I will be 2. On the third click, I will be 3. And so on it will continue. On this basis, even odd clicks should be calculated properly. Let's taste the movie after this change. This worked. You can see now on each click, the mute icon is changing. Now the last part. The sound should also go on and off on the mute icon clicks. Remember, the volume already varies according to the knob's X position. So, by simple logic, even if we connect the knob's X position on the mute icon clicks, then also the end result is possible. Press F9 for Action Panel. Now, in if condition, let's set the knob's X position to 0. That means, when the mute button will show the mute off icon, same time the knob will move to lowest side and the sound will go off. And in else condition, let's set the knob's X position to 80. That is, the track length minus the knob width. This means when the mute button will show the mute on icon, at the same time the knob will move to the peak point and the sound will play at its loudest. Let's taste the movie now. Individually, the knob slider movement is affecting the sound volume, but not the knob icons. But when clicked on the mute button, the icon changes to the mute off icon and also the sound goes off. And on the second click on the mute button, the icon changes to the mute on icon and then the sound goes on. So what we want now is, the mute icon also changes its on and off icons on the slider's X position. It's going to be the last scripting part. When the knob's X position is 0, the icon should change to the mute off icon. And on X equal to 80 position, the icon should change to the mute on icon. Open the Action Panel. In the volume_set function, add a conditional statement that if the knob's value goes to 0 or less than 0, then it should show frame number 2 of mute_MC movie clip. That is, the mute off icon. Else, it should display frame number 1 of the mute_MC movie clip, that is, the mute on icon. Let's taste the movie for the last time now. Yes, when we move the slider to the lowest side, the mute icon is changing to mute off, And when it is moved towards the higher side, the mute icon is changing to mute on. Even the clicks on the mute icons are working very well. Most importantly, save your file and enjoy the output. So this is it. We created here a sound slider along with a volume controller icon. Hope you guys liked it and learnt it very well. Aroha Media will see you with next Flash Action Script 3.0 tutorial. Thank you for watching.